unless it's like too spoilery, do any of them try to kill the bear?
Yes, actually, we won't say who, but it definitely does happen once.
However, within the school rules, in addition to the rule about having to kill someone to get out of the building, Monokuma imposes another series of rules on what they're allowed to do. For instance, after 10 p.m., there's curfew, so they aren't allowed in a specific area of the school building after 10.
But the biggest rule is don't lay a finger on the headmaster, and that's Mono Bear.
In the AMV, you may have noticed one of the Mono Bears exploding at one point. He instigated that rule after somebody tried to... Yeah, after Mondo tried to like punch him into the stratosphere, and so Mondo picks him up, and Mono Bear starts beeping, and they're like, put him down. Like, so he throws it into the air and it explodes. Another Mono Bear pops up by the podium and is like, you can't kill me. Guess what? I'm not a real bear. I'm a mechanical one. And he instigates the rule that if you attempt to harm the headmaster, you will be punished. And what do you think? Yeah, punishment.
Who is like the pink and white rabbit?
The pink and white rabbit appears in the second game. She's sort of a counterpart to Mono Bear.
Her name is Monomi.
Her name is Monomi.
She's super kawaii.
And where Mono Bear is your headmaster, she refers to the students as, she says she's their teacher, and that's all we'll really say about her.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
In the game, is there a certain order of who dies first, or is it just like you do this, this, and this, and then this guy dies first?
It's a storyline. It's very much a visual novel. The gameplay aspects are more to do with logic than they have to do with choosing who to kill and who dies. It's very linear.
Yeah. So you do have a little bit of what they call free time, where your character gets to go around and talk to.
Yeah, you can decide who you influence.
Yes, you can decide who you discuss things with and who you spend time with. Give gifts to become closer to. But who dies is set in stone, and then the trials are the trial outcomes are set in stone, more or less. You can fail with the trial. Any other questions? Yes.
If there's free time and stuff, is there any point where you're allowed to try to kill someone?
No.
That's not a spoiler to say that.
That's not a spoiler. When we say
You're too nice.
When we say Naegi is a pretty A-okay guy, we mean he's the protagonist.
What we mean is he can't tell the difference between a chicken and a ball.
Yeah.
Not naive, so he's not gonna kill anyone.
No. He's there's at every murder there's a very high-pitched sound that plays in the background, and that's supposedly Naegi screaming. So. Okay, apparently I did it perfectly.
That's the sound effect. It sounds weird, but that's what it is. It is actually pretty hilarious. Oh, did I?
So, there we go. Yes. Should we talk about the fact that the blood isn't really blood?
Okay, so blood.
Yes.
Okay, can I tell?
Yes.
Okay, so there's another couple cool things about the game. So, one of the things you'll notice in a lot of artwork, the blood is this hideous shade of eye-searing
Color
color.
the bags for Animethon.
And it's everywhere. And at first I was like, what is that pink paint oozing out? But no, it's not. In Japan, they've got censorship laws against how much blood you can show before the game becomes too graphic for release. And so Dangan Ronpa, I think is it already NC-17?
It is, yep.
It's already NC-17. They could not have the blood red, or else the game simply wouldn't have been able to be released because it would have been too graphic. So all of the blood in the game appears this neon Pepto-Bismol shade. What else? Oh, also because of censorship, or no, is that just Orenon?
Okay, no, it's something awful. Okay, there's another censorship thing, but it's only on something awful. There's a word filter. So a lot of people are convinced that the something awful word filter is an actual part of the game because they replace the F word with gently caress.
and effing becomes loving.
So you'll have these characters that swear a lot, what the gently caress? This is part of the game, but it's not. They're actually swearing.
You loving bear.
If you buy an account, you can read the swear word.
Yeah, if you buy an account, it takes out the filter.
Yeah. But you know, if you do want to make a Something Awful account, read the rules very carefully.
Or just buy an account and
Or
don't post, just lurk.
Yeah, basically. Or just buy an account and lurk, don't post. Because like I said, the forums have very, very strict rules about what you are and are not allowed to post. And if you break them, you are banned.
We're playing in their sandbox, like we're not sharing the sandbox.
And you're not supposed to share your account information with anyone else, or if they find out that you've been like switching computers a lot and they suspect you of sharing your account, you'll be banned. Done. No access. You spent $10 for nothing. Yes.
I know it just came out, but do you think the anime is a good substitution for
No,
the...
not at all. Absolutely
The
not.
pacing of the anime, not good.
They should have made it a 26-episode series to get all the characterization in. It's a 12-episode series, and they actually changed some of the content from the game to the anime to force it to make sense in the timeline that they present.
The problem is, like, the big appeal of the game is the amount of time that you spend with other characters, getting to know them, and you start to appreciate the emotional impact that's attached to that. There's no time for that in the anime. It's literally like murder, trial, murder, trial, murder, trial, and there's no time in between to get to know these characters.
Also,
watch the anime because it's cool to see them move around.
It is.
But also check out the game because that's how
and also the anime actually did directly pull, like it feels like they literally rotoscoped on top of the game, on top of the game stuff sometimes for the animation. It's like they didn't even try to come up with something original. They just took exactly the same camera angle, exactly the same shots, and just went with it in the animated form, which is okay because, you know, we understand that it's difficult to be an animator in Japan, especially for an obscure series like Dangan Ronpa. But at the same time, it's kind of disappointing as a fan of the series to see that and be like, oh, it's exactly like the game. Okay.
Yes.
To be fair, that's just how anime are like it. Chapters are taking blockbusters, just trying to fill in a half-season spot within them.
Yeah, which is also fair.
Like we're very happy that the anime does exist because it does mean that the fandom reaches a wider audience. It's really cool to see some things animated.
It is. It is
nothing like the original though. So.
Yeah. Also,
How long would it take me to read a game?
How long did it take you?
It took me. Okay. Linda, how long did it take you to read Dangan?
Don't ask Linda. Don't ask her.
I read a little bit fast, so I think it was like 3 days between work and class.
Yeah,
but
I took about 5 days on it, but I was also pretty much reading non-stop. So.
Yeah, and I took about a week reading about 3 hours a day.
You can finish about a chapter in a few hours.
You can finish a chapter in a few hours if you're really, really into it, but if you're also reading, like, the author Ren Ronan posts extra content, like the free time with the other characters. After the trial is completed, you can go back and he has done, like, all of the free time with different characters who are significant to that chapter. And so if you choose to read through all the extra content that he's posted, you can tack on a good, like, extra 10 hours, like, maybe not 10 hours, but, like, at least like another 3 hours to every chapter. 10 hours, wow. No, but 3 hours to every chapter. So like, reasonably, I think if you were only reading a couple hours a day, you could finish it in 2 weeks. Kind of a thing. Yeah.
Alright, so we're pretty much actually close to...
Does the PSA paywall come on after something's been there for 6 months, not based on...
It used to be the archive. Yeah, the archive. Once something is archived, you have to pay again to see it. But it's on the LP archive now, so it's really not a...
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly how the mechanics of Something Awful work. I know that the paywall comes up either after a certain amount of time